the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. You dream of dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dream that you dare to, oh why can't I? Well, I see trees of red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue, and I see clouds of white, and the brightness of day. I like the dark, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dream that you dare to, why, oh why can't I?
Welcome back to Lancer Library Radio. I'm Mr. Cataret, and we're broadcasting live from my quarantine bunker in an undisclosed location. That was Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Big Israel K, with a lot of other letters that I cannot pronounce. So rather than embarrass myself and insult his name, that's Big Is. Which, from what I've been told and what I've read, there's a character in Moana, the Disney film, with him in it, or a memorial to him. That song in specific is going out to friends Nick and Lisa Killick. I hope they're doing well wherever they are. It's a sad day at Lancer Library Radio because our friend Connor Elsey is not here. And so to cheer ourselves up, it is the Ukulele Show. And we have all sorts of things for you today, some special guests, some surprises, some cameos. And throughout it all, we have lots and lots of ukulele music. You cannot be sad either listening or playing the ukulele, kind of like the banjo. Although you could be sad listening to the banjo if you were on a rafting trip with Burt Reynolds, but ukulele has none of those problems. So also, may the 4th be with you. And I don't know what that means to anybody out there, but hopefully you're geeking out with Star Wars and having a good time with that. I want to remind everybody that we're always willing to take and looking forward to dedications and requests and shout outs. And we have a whole bunch of shout outs to get to today, and we will be getting to them in a minute. I just want to let everybody know our guests today are Mrs. Celeste Milukas and her daughter, Jenna Milukas. Mrs. Milukas is a music teacher at Great Neck. We always like having elementary teachers on the show. We don't have nearly enough of them. And Jenna Milukas is a senior at the high school. And there'll also be a cameo appearance, a special guest appearance by 2016 grad Alaina Milukas. So that's something all to look forward to. Stay tuned for that. Right now we have a ukulele tune from the most unlikely of sources. And this is from the world's loudest rock and roll band, or at least at one point they were in the Guinness Book of World Records for that. This is from the Who's album, The Who by Numbers. This is Blue, Red, and Gray.
Some people seem so obsessed with the morning, get up early just to watch the sunrise. Some people like it more when there's fire in the sky, worship the sun when it's high. Some people go for those sultry evenings, sipping cocktails in the blue, red and gray. But I like every minute of the day. I like every second, so long as you are on my mind. Every moment has its special charm. It's alright when you're around, rain or shine. I know a crowd who only live after midnight. Their faces always seem so pale. And then there's friends of mine who must have sunlight. They say a suntan never fails. I know a man who works the night shift, is lucky to get a job and some pay. And I like every minute of the day. I dig every second. I can laugh in the snow and rain. I get a buzz from being cold and wet. The pleasure seems to balance out the pain. And so you see that I'm completely crazy. I even shun the south of France. The people on the hill, they say I'm lazy, but when they sleep I sing and dance. Some people have to have the sultry evenings, cocktails in the blue, red and gray. But I like every minute of the day. I like every minute of the day.
All right, that was The Who with Blue, Red, and Gray off of their Who by Numbers album. And as I said earlier, we've got a whole bunch of shout outs to get through. I want to thank Mr. Chris Landry for helping me out getting me all this information, and hopefully I have it accurate. I want to make certain of that. You know, there's a lot of difficult things in our life right now, a lot of things that bring us some stress, but there's also plenty of things to celebrate, and we're going to start that with a group of students. You'll be hearing their names all throughout the show, and these are students that have signed letters of intent to play their sports at the college or university of their choice. And this is a great group of students and a wide variety of sports and schools. So let's just start off. Kyle Jacobson has signed a letter of intent with the U.S. Coast Guard Academy to play lacrosse. Jared Burrows, University of Hartford, playing baseball. Ryan O'Connell is going to Central Connecticut State to play baseball. Peyton Sutman is going to Holy Cross to play baseball. Rachel Miller is going to Southern Connecticut State University for softball. And Ben Jerome is going to Nichols College for baseball. Now, we have plenty more names to read, so if you didn't hear the name of your student athlete, wait and listen to the rest of the show. We'll get to them all. Now, this is our ukulele show, as I said. You just heard a couple of great tunes, and they were great. It was the ukulele as a great rhythm instrument and a great accompaniment to some nice singing and beautiful songs. But we want to show a whole bunch of different varieties of ukulele, and there is no better ambassador to the ukulele than my next song. This is by Jake Shimabukuro, who's played a couple of times at the Wolf Den, always a favorite of mine because it's free. He is a phenomenal ukulele player, comes out of Hawaii, like Big Iz at the beginning of the show, and a couple of other players throughout the show. This is the first thing that really launched him into national recognition, and it started on YouTube. It was filmed in Central Park when he was there, traveling through, and somebody knew who he was from Hawaii. And it's like broken YouTube records. Right now, the copy I'm looking at says it has 16.8 million views. And so this is him. I think this is about close to 15 years ago. This is called Ukulele Weeps by Jake Shimabukuro.
This is a song that was composed by one of my favorite songwriters, Mr. George Harrison. So, since we're in Central Park near the strawberry fields, I thought this would be kind of cool. But it's a song entitled While My Guitar Gently Weeps, something like this.
That was Ukulele Weeps by Jake Shimabukuro. And if you're at all interested in virtuosit, really good playing of any instrument, then you should check out the video. It's pretty amazing. The man has an enormous reach. I think he has a pinky finger that's 6 or 7 inches long or something like that. And he's just phenomenal. As I said, I've seen him a couple of times in concert, and he's always just the nicest guy. I saw him up at Yukon a couple of years ago, and he had some class that was taking a ukulele class up on stage with him doing Wipeout. And he was doing the slightly more intricate parts of Wipeout, and they were backing him up. But even still, he just looked so happy to be up there with those people. So he just seems like a genuinely nice guy, and he does some phenomenal things. There is I think a TED talk with him doing a version of Bohemian Rhapsody on the ukulele. So very intense, really wonderful. Please check that out. Speaking of music and teaching and ukuleles, and thank you so much for being here. Mrs. Celeste Milukas, are you there?
I am here, Mr. Carteret.
Oh, that's so nice. It's so nice to have you here. How are you doing during our quarantine?
I'm doing pretty well. You know, it's a learning curve for us as teachers getting into all the Google Classroom and Seesaw and all of that, but I'm trying to get my groove.
That's awesome. So, and in the elementary school, I'm trying to remember. I was in elementary school in the 19th century, I think.
Mhm.
So, and we used to have a music teacher that would come in with like a recorder, or maybe there was a piano in the classroom sometimes. Uh, is there a music room at Great Neck, or do you travel around to every room?
Oh no, I'm very lucky. I have a beautiful music room. We have a piano. We have a multitude of classroom percussion instruments, hand percussion and mallet instruments, and a lot of access to online things with our Promethean screen, so we can play lots of games and things online also. As well as there is a band platform, which is the stage between the gym and the cafeteria, and that's where the orchestra and band teachers have their office and where they have their rehearsals. So we actually have 2 music spaces, which we are so lucky.
Wow, that's terrific. So how are you translating that experience into online learning?
Oh, well, not easily. We started out with trying to get the kids outside first, trying to get them away. We've been hearing a lot about screen time. So for elementary level, actually, I and the other 2 elementary teachers are working together on lessons to just give each other ideas and support. And so we started with the kids doing a mindful listening, going outside, listening to sounds in nature, listening to sounds.
Hold on just a second. I hate to interrupt you, but you know, we're a small Lancer Nation, and we want to recognize everybody. Who are the other 2 teachers that you're working with?
Wayne Shadler at Oswegatchie and Val Mativier at Quaker Hill.
All right, we just want to make certain that everybody gets noticed. There's a lot of hard work going on out there, and everybody needs to know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, so you're having the students, and I interrupted you, I'm sorry, but
That's okay.
you're having the students go outside, and what are you having them do outside?
Well, the first week we had them go outside and try to listen to sounds in nature, and then for the very little ones, have them try to imitate it for their parents, like, you know, act out the movements of the bird or the sounds you heard with the chirping. Some of them create little songs about the animals they heard. And with the older kids, we had them try to maybe create a little poem or something like that, or they would tell us what they heard. And then we kind of, for the second and third week, we had some instrument things online that we were able to find, learning the orchestra instruments. And then that morphed into this last week, which was a really fun lesson where they had to build their own instrument at home.
Oh, so, that's awesome.
Yeah, and actually very, very coincidentally, Carolyn Whitaker at The Connection was looking for input. So we were able to get some of the videos and some of the pictures of the instruments the children made on this month's Connection.
Oh, I'm going to have to look at that. I haven't looked at that yet. So what are the type of things that the students came up with?
Oh, they came up with glass mallet instruments like xylophones, They made drums out of buckets. They made shakers out of water bottles with beads or rice. Really everything. This one little, you'll see on the connection, there's one little boy who made this beautiful banjo, and it actually plays. He made it with his grandpa. So especially the little ones are having help with from their parents, but they really use anything from around their house, from pasta to boxes to crates to wood. And they've made all sorts of different things, trying again to have them create music, but not just be glued to the computer screen to do it.
Oh, that's awesome. That really just sounds like a lot of fun. That's great. And it's, man, it's music from the ground up. That's terrific.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How are things like in your house? I know you got I know you have a bunch of kids because I've seen them all at the high school eventually. So how's everything going at home?
It's going well. Alaina and Jenna are both here, and my husband's here, so there's the four of us. And my son Matthew, unfortunately, well, he's in the military, so he's in New Jersey, so he can't be with us. But everyone's healthy, and we're a pretty goofy group at times, so we're keeping each other entertained and trying to do a lot of outdoor stuff. Get out and get the gardens going in between, so we're not all cooped up.
Oh, that's
We
nice.
manage pretty well. Yeah, if I had to be stuck with three people, I'm with three pretty good ones. So
well, that's a great thing to hear. That's really nice. So before we have our special appearance by your daughters, it sounds like you guys are like the Von Trapp family singers. There might be a musical that ends up about the Milukases at some point. But
that would be fun.
before we get to that, we ask all of our guests on the show a couple of simple questions just to get a baseline to see how everybody's doing. And you've already sort of answered one of the questions. But the first question is two things that you're grateful for in this situation.
Well, yeah, I did the first one. Definitely grateful for my family, that they're all healthy. We just visited my mom outside today. She had her 85th birthday, so we went and sat in her yard and didn't let her blow any candles out on the cake or anything. But everybody I know in my immediate family is healthy and happy, and very, very grateful for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So,
and I would say probably the other thing again was with my coworkers, that trying to tackle all this and the new technology we have to learn and how to get out to the kids on my own would have been so daunting without all the music teachers. I mean, I think we have a fabulous music department. We all chit chat together. We have like a running thread in our, text that we all talk about things and share family events. And the music teachers we really just enjoy each other's company. And that's really been so helpful as we get kind of separated here, because music is such a community event. So to have all of us on top of each other and kind of rooting for each other and giving each other help via online and Zoom meets and all that has been so nice.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really great to hear. Yeah, I mean, we are separated, but I hear lots of stories. I'm really grateful for this radio show because I get to hear all these stories about people saying, I connected up with this person online. I connected up with that person. One teacher said that for Easter dinner, they had, they chatted with both sides of the family. Somebody's 85-year-old aunt was on there that they hadn't seen forever. So, it's almost like we can't help ourselves. We want that connection. All right. So one more question. A little bit of a
silver lining to have that time to reach out to people.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's sort of a stressful situation, but you can always find ways to make it better. So once we're through with this situation, and hopefully that will be sometime soon, although we don't know, what's something that you're really looking forward to? We know you want to get together with your friends. We know that you want to get together with your colleagues. Is there something else that either you're craving for food or a place you want to go that we can't go right now, or whatever? What are you looking forward to?
I really want to go into New York City and see a show. We've been trying to go see a few shows a year, and I just really, really miss being able to see live performances. I was supposed to go see Kristen Chenoweth at UConn, and that
Oh,
got rescheduled to December, I think. But I really can't wait just to get out and go see some live performances with especially with my daughters. We go to a lot of the shows together.
well, uh, apparently there's a live performance coming up on Lancer Library Radio. So you emailed me a wonderful suggestion, and amazingly, it fit perfectly with today's show. Can you explain what we're about to hear and who we're about to hear it from?
Sure. This is my daughter, Jenna, who's a senior, and then my daughter, Alaina, who graduated in 2016. And we actually picked a ukulele song, which we didn't know ahead of time that the ukulele show was today, so that kind of worked out pretty neat. But we're going to sing Count on Me by Bruno Mars because it's just a fun, bouncy kind of song about, helping each other out. And we thought at this time, this is really the sentiment everyone is having, that, we're all going to stand by each other and help each other through this. And we're kind of all in it. So we just want to have fun with it.
All right, that's wonderful. So these are the Milukas ladies singing, what's the name of the song?
Count on Me.
Count on Me. Very good. Take it away, Milukases.
If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be in the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of, when we all want to help our friends be. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. Ooh, yeah. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. But we're so still now. Always at my shoulder when you like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. That's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Count on me 'cause I can count on you.
Oh, that was lovely. Now, here is the deal. We're going to have you record that.
All right.
Seriously, you got to record it on something better than a Zoom meeting, because I know that our listeners are going to hear stuff that went in and out, and that's a shame because it was really sweet, and I want to record of that moment. So
Sure.
after the show, or at some point when you guys are a little bit bored and tired of watching Netflix,
Uh-huh.
you got to put that down, and then you got to send it to me, and we'll play it on the show again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Mrs. Milukas, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Alaina, for that lovely accompaniment on the ukulele. Perfect for today. And Jenna, I'm going to talk to you in a few minutes, all right? Terrific. All right. Though that was Mrs. Celeste Milukas, and I couldn't let this opportunity go by with a music teacher and ukulele without playing this. You've probably seen this this music teacher on one of the social medias at some point, but here she is, how she's handling online teaching.
Hey, so as some of you guys might know, I'm a music teacher, and I found that one of the best ways that I can process the whole transition to online learning and teaching is to write a song. So I wrote a song. I'd like to share that with you guys now. Here we go.
And
so
that's it. All right. That was wonderful. So this is our ukulele show, and no ukulele show would be complete without the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain. If you've never heard of them before, they are phenomenal musicians with a great sense of humor and a wide catalog. And they're all over YouTube. So I would highly encourage you, if you're just looking for an entertaining time, to look up the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain. And some of their things are a little bit long for our show, but I thought this is the best way to showcase their musicianship and their sense of humor. This is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly by the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain. right, that was the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain. Nothing says Clint Eastwood and spaghetti western like 7 English people in evening wear playing ukuleles. We have some more shout outs going out to more students. These are seniors that have written letters of intent, or they have, yes, a letter of intent for going to certain colleges to play certain sports and study stuff. And it's a great group of students. Elise Gaffey is going to Western New England University for swimming and diving. Kaylin Hatcher is going to Nichols College for soccer. Liam Kane is going to Anna Maria College for baseball. Lily Watson is going to Wheaton College for swimming and diving. Luke Sokolsky, Plymouth State University for baseball. And Madison Knott, Eastern Connecticut State University for softball. We have a final group that'll be coming up at the end of the show. There was just so many of them. Again, I want to thank Mr. Chris Landry for sending me this list, and what a great group of students and what a great variety of colleges they're going off to. As I said, it's easy to be brought down by the news, and it's even easy to be overwhelmed by events, but it's always good to take a step back and realize that positive things are happening all around you, and hopefully this show brings out some of them. Here's one positive thing that also, strangely enough, has a joke about quarantine. This is another virtuoso ukulele player named James Hill and his wife Anne on cello, and I'll let them explain all about this song. This is A Psalm and Like a Bird.
We visited Singapore for the first time. We liked it there, except that we got arrested. Sort of. They thought we were sick, and not in the head, but in the body. They thought we had the swine flu, because a woman on our plane had the swine flu. So they put us in a room for 4 days, and we had nothing to do except play music. So we wrote these 2 songs, and they're for absent friends.
right, that was James Hill and Ann Davison doing a psalm like a bird live. If you're interested in the ukulele at all, or just really music well done, then you should check out James Hill and Ann Davison. They do a number of duets together, and they're really wonderful. Uh, Today in the studio, we were happy to have Mrs. Celeste Milukas earlier on, and then we heard briefly from Jenna Milukas, but she is back. Jenna, are you there with us? Oh, Jenna, are you
Hello?
there?
Yes, I
Are you
am.
there? Oh, thank God she's there. Oh, good. All right. I failed in my very few duties that I actually have. I forgot to unmute her. So it's not her fault. It's so nice to have you here. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Well, I'm doing great. Now, I have to tell you, I'm serious. I need to have a recording of the three of you doing that because I know for certain that it just came through terrible. And I could hear it once in a while and it sounded beautiful.
Thank
And
you.
so you got to do that and then send it to me so that I can have it on another show. In fact, we should have music from all the faculty and all the students. Well, that's a different story. All right. So how are you surviving quarantine? How are you doing with distance learning? Let's start with that.
I've been doing pretty good with it. It's difficult to like go from having such a busy schedule with like drama and cheer and school to having like nothing because I feel like my day kind of has a lot less structure to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it more difficult to get things done.
Yeah, isn't that strange? We have a lot more time, but I seem to be getting less done.
Yeah.
You know, it is very weird. And drama club takes up a lot of part of your time. A lot of the
Yes.
Mr. Valley works you guys to the bone. So
Hmm.
with great results, always with great
Yeah.
results. Now, I know your mom is gone now, so she's not listening. So she said that you guys were having a great time at home. You can tell us the truth. Nobody listens to this show. It's okay.
Actually, I think that's pretty honest. It's been really fun, especially because now that not all of us are busy with school, we get to see each other a lot more. So that's good. I feel like we've a pretty good bond as a family, so it's been nice to like reconnect and see each other more.
Okay, so what I'm going to take away from that is your mom is still in the room. That's fine. That's okay. So I was reading off a bunch of names of seniors that are committed to different schools for sports. What are you planning on doing next year?
Um, I'm not entirely sure on anything, but I did get accepted into two schools that I applied to, and I would really like to try to go to Central this fall to cheer for their cheerleading squad.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's that's the place that you really want to go to. And but
Yeah.
why do you say you're not certain? Is it because of the quarantine and everything, or something else?
Well, just because we really haven't talked about it yet and figured out like financially what's going to happen, and if there is online classes, if it would just be better to go to community college for a year anyways, rather than waste money just to sit online like I
Yeah,
would at
yeah, that's a good
whatever.
point. That's a good point.
Yeah,
And what are you planning on majoring in eventually?
I have no idea, but I know that I really love music, and I don't know. Other things I've been leaning to are like I really like science and like history. I don't know how I could combine any of those three, but
Archaeology. That sounds
that's
perfect.
true. I actually did kind of think about that a little bit. I haven't really looked too much into anything though.
I have to say, I love that. You know, uh, uh, being a person that I've got about 20 different interests, and I'm constantly, I can't focus on anything. Uh, I I'm always slightly jealous of the students that they're freshmen and they're like, I'm going to be an orthopedic surgeon, and then you
Yeah.
meet them as seniors and they're like, I'm applying to medical school,
Mhm.
and so I'm slightly jealous, but I also love the fact that you don't know, and that, I mean, who cares? Have a good
Yeah.
time, learn things, experience. So coming from someone that I still don't know what I'm going to do when I grow up, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So that's great. All right. So you're hoping possibly to go off to Central
Yes.
to help them with their cheerleading squad, and also to possibly study science, history, archaeology, and a whole bunch of other things. And
Yeah.
that which I say that sounds great. Um, Anything else that you've been doing? Obviously, you and your family have been making music together, and that's really awesome. Anything else
Mhm.
that you have been doing on your own to keep yourself busy and keep yourself interested?
Well, I've been spending a lot more time outside, so that's good. Getting a little bit of color. Let's see, we
Yeah.
got ducks.
Oh, you have ducks.
Yeah.
You know, I have interviewed more students. I've got who was it? It was I can't even remember everybody. There was somebody that Madison Knott has horses. Somebody else had it was Ali Silva had ducks and goats,
Oh yeah.
and you have ducks. How long have you had ducks?
We got them, I think, the beginning. I want to say close to the beginning of March, and they're doing pretty well. We haven't had them
Why?
in a while.
What
So.
what what
Huh?
what made you go? You know what we need right now? Ducks. What made you choose that?
I didn't really know. It was my dad, but he likes we love animals. We've like had we've like for most of the years growing up here, we've had chickens every year, and just the past couple of years, we kind of got out of it a little because we're all not much of us were home because of our schedules. But we decided we have free time. They give us eggs. This would be a fun thing to get back into, I guess.
Well, this is what I asked Ali Silva, and she realized that she had all male ducks. Um, but what is it like? So, have you used the duck eggs?
Not yet. No, they haven't started laying yet.
Oh, okay. So, I need a report back when you start making omelets or baking with them, or whatever you do with them. That sounds fascinating.
Alrighty.
All right, that's great. Okay, so uh, just like I asked your mom, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Couple of things that you're grateful for. We're going through a time that's kind of stressful, but there's, as your mom said, there's all sorts of silver linings. Anything in particular that you're grateful for that you're like, whew, I'm so glad that I have whatever to get
Getting
me
more
through
time to
this.
sleep.
That's a great answer. I support that answer. Anything else that you're grateful for?
I don't know, just getting back outside, I guess. It's been nice that there's a lot of warm weather. And since school, I'd get there at 7, and then I wouldn't usually be home until like 7, sometimes like 8 or 9 at night. I'd barely see like the outdoors, and so it's nice to
Oh,
be back out.
oh, that's all. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I have to say, and especially the past couple of days, it's just been beautiful. And
Yeah,
I had a fire pit last night, so
that
that was
sounds fun.
great. Oh, it was beautiful. It was just really nice. All right, and so, uh, what is one thing that you're craving, you're missing, you can't wait to do or eat or see when we open up, when we get on the other side of quarantine?
Cheerleading and my boyfriend. Those
Oh,
are my top two.
all right. Does your mom know about the boyfriend?
Oh yeah, yeah. She
Oh,
does.
okay. I was going to play dumb. I was more than willing to back you up on that. He's a nice guy, so mad props to him. Um, all right. Thank you so much,
No problem.
Jenna, for being on the show. It's been wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's been great. You and your mom and your sister Alaina, it's been wonderful. And so now, when you get off the show, Alaina needs to listen to all these things, and you guys need to record that song.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much. That was Jenna Milukas, and we're going to get back to some ukulele music. That was awesome. All these students that have animals. I mean, I got a cat, but she's not laying any eggs. Anyway, here is some more Hawaiian ukulele music. This is by a duo, Hanoka and Azita. And maybe it's just because I'm old, but they look like they're about 12. And I have no idea, but they are phenomenal. So what would be more appropriate on the ukulele than the Hawaii Five-0 theme song? Here's Hanoka and Zeta. Wow, that was Hanoka and Azita playing the Hawaii Five-0 theme. And, you know, we try to keep this thing radio, and we try to minimize our interactions because nobody really wants to see my face. But if you have any interest whatsoever, then you should check out the videos. Just watching these people play is really phenomenal, and that was great. All right, we have our last group of senior college commitments, and we want to get through them. Remember that if you have something that people should know about, people that are doing good things out in the community, and you know, it doesn't have to be something really big. We're a small town, small community, so small things can make a big difference. If there's somebody out there that's doing good stuff, somebody out there that you want to give a shout out or an attaboy to, then please let us know. Just email me or email Connor. Hopefully he'll be back on Wednesday's show. But our last group of senior college commitments, we want to give a big shout out to Mason Lafort, who's going to the Coast Guard Academy for lacrosse. Michael Vincent, UMass Dartmouth for football. Robert Zawacki, Western New England University for baseball. Riley Gagno, Roger Williams University for volleyball. Sloan Dorfler, Castleton University, football. And Trey Brennan, Mitchell College, baseball. All right, so if you know any of those people, then please send them an email, send them a text, just let them know, just congratulate them. They did not get to this place by taking it easy. They got to this place by a lot of hard work. So let's honor that hard work and give them a pat on the back, tell them that we appreciate it, and making Lancer Nation proud. All right, we only have a couple of more songs left but I wanted to get some old school Hawaiian stuff on here, and I found this here. This is Brian Tolentino, and this is, let me see if I can pronounce the name of the song. It is Pu'uana Hulu, and I'm certain that is completely wrong. Anyway, this is him, and an old Hawaiian folk song done on the ukulele. Beautiful. That was Brian Tolentino and some title of the song I cannot pronounce. I'm embarrassed to say. Anyway, that's our show for today. Hopefully Connor will be back. For all of you that are looking for music that was more recent and electronic and something other than ukulele. But I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you, if you don't have a ukulele, then send away for one. There's even kits to make your own, although they may be of dubious quality. But you can get a decent one for $65, $70. And if I can learn how to play it, anybody can. And you may not be doing While My Guitar Gently Weeps, but there's lots of resources online for playing all sorts of things. Anyway, we want to thank our guests today, the Milukas family. Mrs. Celeste Milukas, music teacher at Great Neck Elementary School. We always love when elementary teachers and students are on the show, and we have some coming up later on in the week, or is that next week? I'll have to check the schedule. But she was wonderful. I loved hearing those stories about the students that were making their own instruments. That was really cool. Ms. Jenna Milukas, we heard from her, senior at Waterford High School, and about her uncertain plans for the future. And I support that. Good for her. No reason to rush into these things. There's a lot going on in the world, so take your time. And we also had a cameo appearance on Ukulele by Ms. Alaina Milukas, a 2016 grad of Waterford High School. So that was wonderful. And I have to apologize. I'm pretty certain I never know what these things are going to sound like until after I get them uploaded to YouTube. But I don't think their trio came across as nicely as I wanted it to. So hopefully they will record it, and then we can hear it. And geez, I'd love to hear from other people in Lancer Nation that record their own things as well. I also want to thank again Mr. Chris Landry for sending out that list of students that have signed letters of intent to play for all these different universities and all these different sports. The really wonderful group of students that, as I said, they didn't get there by being lazy. They were working hard. That's something to be celebrated and to be reminded of. So great for them. We wish them all the luck here at Lancer Library Radio. And remember that we're always looking for people to help us out with shout outs, with dedications, with requests, and with themes that you want us to explore. I know Connor wants to get into 2005 and 2015, and I don't know what else we'll be doing, but it looks like we're going to be here 3 days a week for the next couple of weeks at least, and maybe into June. So we want to keep you as entertained as we can. As I said at the beginning of the show, may the 4th be with you. And hopefully you're geeking out to some Star Wars and enjoying that. I'm going to leave you with this Bach Boré from John King, who plays classical ukulele. And I'm going to wish you a great day. Have a great Monday. Thank you for listening.